Howdy. Oh, come on. Come on. Come on. Ah, there you go. You can see me clearly now. That's really cool. Howdy, this is Cartaya. And today, I got a package. It's really cool. This is really weird because usually you're seeing the side of the room, that side of the room, and today I'm playing with something. I'm playing with a mount for my Panasonic Luminex DC70 that Nate Little gave me in lieu of making him a Chronomag out of one of those Deadpools. You know, Deadpools like ones that come with chimichangas, Deadpools. Yeah, you got it. So anyway, playing with this right here. Yeah, chimichangas. They're coming. You're in the chimichangas. You're gonna get both the chimichangas. How about two of these? You get both the chimichangas. Yeah, so they're coming. They're coming. Doing some modding lately and a few other things. I thought I should update you on a few things. At the moment, where am I going to put this chimichanga laden Chronos? I don't know. Okay, here we go. There you go. So a couple things. One, got a package to cover up his real name here. Got a package, actually his address, from Nintendo. And this is really cool because he's been doing a lot of very cool stuff. Boom Tendo has been getting back into making a sniper caliber kind of blaster, and he pulled with 1.6 gram darts 410 feet per second. Now you may be saying, well Chris, you know, blue does 119. Yes, but it's a ½ inch diameter dart that is 1 gram. We're talking 1.6 grams. So in joules, my blaster's pulling somewhere around 6.5, 7 joules maybe. I forget the numbers exactly. I'm sure Trip Miller can come up with the numbers and say that. But he made a 10 joule blaster. Let me put this in perspective. If he got his barrels right, and he went ½ inch dart, he could possibly, if he tried to, win the 500 foot per second project that Curb and Nerfaholic and a few other people are doing. Why am I not doing that? We'll get into that in a bit. But the main thing is I like to make blasters that are more battle efficient. Yes, 350 feet per second, that sort of thing. But to a point where when it hits you, it may leave a welt, but it won't not break your skin. I like to make blasters that are not, how would you say, that are harmless arms, not non-lethal arms. There's a point where you cross, I think, about 8 joules, where you're now a non-lethal arm. And at that point, you can't really play with Nerf. Why? Because you'll hurt people. That's not the point of Nerf. And the only reason that we're going into the higher joules, 4, 5, 6 joules, 7 joules, is because distance. Okay? It's to get the dart there. Speed is only a byproduct to a guy like me who's a sniper. Much like Bradley Phillips, much like other people, you know, that came after me, and such and so forth. But my thing usually is snipering with something that is quite a challenge. A pistol. That's my thing, you know. I can't pick this up without shooting at something. I can't. I do like the fact that I in this pandemic, I did square up the turret a bit. I like that. Now you can't see what I'm shooting at, and I can't use the crosshairs. Now I can. Okay. But as you can hear, oh, I love that, man. Got it shooting with this. I got this shooting at 280. I got the barrel shooting 3 shots at 175, which is really cool. So at any rate, let's open this up. And he's been working, this is probably his 3rd or 4th iteration, probably 4th iteration of Boomco Dart. Okay. Yeah. Man, I just don't have the strength anymore, do I? I used to be like He-Man. I used to be able to rip the stuff out and roar, you know what I mean? I may need to cheat and take Mr. Exacto, you know, mind your manners. Or Mr. Exacto will take revenge, yes. Okay, and open this up for the same reason that, well, you know. Okay, so let's see what we got here. He really made this crush-proof. Oh, this is really cool. Okay, can I make a suggestion? If you're ever sending darts, do it the way that Boomtendo did it. He put them in a package that will not crush, that you can play volleyball with. You can do whatever you want. But At any rate, he made it so you can't crush the darts. It's nice bubble packing. Yes, it may not be space efficient, but other than hard packing like you see in the stores, it's actually a really good way of doing it. Wow, so here's one that kind of snuck its way out. Whoo-hoo. Okay, hold on, let me take my glasses off. Whoa. So he's got a little 3D printed ring. Ooh, real soft rubber head. But notice the head is rebated. Had Boomco had made these rebated, Boomco would have been hotter for modders. The straw's really strong. Yeah. You know what I want to do? One second. I know it's not an optimal setup. I know. Okay? But I do have a Boomco barrel for the bird. Bird of Prey was originally meant to be a modular pistol. Can I get it past my knock points? Okay. Okay, so I have Boomco diameter barrel. It is a little loose in there. Let's see. It's got some umph to it. Yeah. But he made some long ones, but he also made some really short ones. And this may be good for a couple reasons, and I'll get into that in a second. Cool. So he made some shorty ones. Now, I like this advancement he's doing because although a lot of people may rank or tease Boomco, it is another dart format that is much more aerodynamic in the air. It cuts through less air. I mean, obviously you take a cross section of one second please. Take a cross section of a Nerf dart on AF Pro. Nothing special, not one of my Wildcat Pack Ds or anything like that are handmade, all that stuff, but something off the market. Take a good look at that. Look at that comparison. I'll get real up close and personal. Look how much smaller this dart is in cross section of air than this dart is than this dart. This dart cuts through twice as much air to get there. Now multiply that by 200 feet. What do you got? You got a higher coefficient of drag. So although this may be more common, in my opinion, a little more efficient for the lower yields, maybe 14 kilograms, 16, 18. In terms of going the distance, this dart going the same speed is going to go farther than this dart going the same speed, regardless of weight, regardless of what have you, because it has a better coefficient of drag. So in other words, it needs to cut through less air to do that. And even though this is a little more square than the Pack D, doesn't matter. This probably has less coefficient drag than the Pack D. Right. So, I know this looks like the Joker gun, doesn't it? Yeah. Other than buying a really psychotic Ferrari 12-cylinder or something one day, that's on my bucket list. You might actually see, okay, this one's a little more snug than the last one. Ooh, okay, one thing I am noticing, I do need a stop for this, and of course you know, the Bird of Prey doesn't have a stop. So I'm going to have to aim at something lower so it doesn't get sucked in my plunger tube. But a second. Wow, that had some zing. I don't know exactly how fast that was, but that had some zing. And whew, they are definitely better darts. But here's what I plan to do with these, is I have a new design. I'm keeping kind of hush at the moment. Mark 13. No, that's not just a Nexus Pro with an 18-inch barrel on it. No, that's not just a Nexus Pro. No, no. It is a Nexus Pro that, unlike, which we don't have another Nexus Pro around, so I'll just use a Game Face Prime as an example. Unlike this blaster that has this dead prime, okay, a Nexus Pro has dead prime. Well, not this Nexus Pro. No dead prime. Why? Because it's not exactly a Nexus Pro anymore. It is a Mark 13. Mark 13 18, which 18 stands for the length of the barrel. Okay, so I've been working on this. There are details about it that are secret, yes, but it is mainly composite fiberglass construction, outside, inside, the breech, the pusher, everything else. But it is using a standard plunger head. It is using a standard plunger catch. Okay, it is using a spring guide to run 52 coils of number 62 Hillman, which of course, as you know, a 62 Hillman has 39 coils. So that means it's using 1+ coils to give it a very soft draw. It feels like around 12, Okay, not 18.5, not 20, not 28, not some crazy yield. But the result of this is you got a very soft prime and a lot of power and very accurate. So let's see here. Take this off here. I'm kind of improvising with the pistol scope. I just changed the relief on it. Normally this is a long release scope, but you can make it short by putting this way back. Oh man. Oh, that is great. That is great. That's got the umph of a long shot, but the long draw of a caliber. And the next version, which is called the 1320, is going to have a longer draw. How am I going to do that? Imagination, friends. That's how. Ha ha ha. And I know you haven't seen much of this because it's still kind of a work in progress. It's still kind of sitting there, but dun 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 boom. Yeah. It's got a really good seal to it. Yeah. So this isn't using the puny plunger tube that it comes with. This is using something more evil. And I like that. And the only aftermarket part on this blaster, okay, well, we can't really call it scope. Scope is a scope, but I mean on the blaster is this Mark III Accuretto Lego DEI 555 each. If you don't want to buy one, if you don't get one, you need a lobotomy. You're crazy. This is better than units that are like 30 bucks. I like these. I love these. Okay. Yeah. Next one I'm making is going to have a Merlin. Next one I'm making is going to have 2 inches or more barrel. Next one I'm making is really going to be crazy. This has 100 cc's of air compared to 59 or 60. And the next one's going to have 110 and have more travel. How do I do this? Under technology, William. That's all I got to say about it. Yeah. So at any rate, what we're going to do, because I know a lot of times I get questions, maybe not every day, but at least every week, about how do you wax your barrels? Like how do you apply it? A lot of people don't get it. Okay? And put in mind, the coat stays in there until it's physically dry. No, not all the emulsion goes out of it. No, not looks dry. Actually dry. Actually, the silicone evaporated out of it. The wax is the only thing there. And then after that, it's like a dry layer of wax, and you wax it again. Then once you wax it, you buff it out, and you do it. So let me just show you the waxing portion real quick. Let me show you my revised method of waxing it. Okay, my one I'm using as of late. It's been revised a little bit. So you got the same method. Ooh, that's a banged up dart. Okay. You got the same method of waxing it. You want to bore this out a bit, and you got this hole. It's right here in the middle of the dart. You can see it, right? Right there. Okay. So what you do, pledge. Make sure it has silicone and isoparaffin, whatever you use, because it's the isoparaffin that dries. Put in mind, isoparaffin is liquid, so for it to dry, it needs to dissociate a bit to actually physically dry. Okay. I shake this up really good. I just threw something. I don't know what it was. And, I don't know. I don't care. I'm psychotic. Ha ha ha. And you basically take it, and you fill it up. Yeah, you got it. And so, I make sure that it's completely filled. Okay. I wet out the outside of the dart, like so. Okay. And then I put this aside, and I go grab another one, and do the same thing. So I had like 2 or 3. Probably 3. Not stand up, you. This is out of view, but it's not being my friend sitting on my. There we go. Now let's pick some darts off the floor. These are, of course, AF Pros. Okay. I'm just using AF Pros. Alright. So then again, you pinch it, you get a little air void, you fill that hole up. So what happens when it fires, the pressure scatters it all over the inside of your barrel. Nice and evenly. Okay? Alright. There's number 2. And for a barrel that's that long, 18 inches, I have the same rule for Big Blue. I do 3. Because the coverage is usually, you need that third one to even it out a little. Okay, so here it is. Right here. I want to see if I can get this on camera. I'm never able to. Ah! That just shot a bunch of fucking pledge in my room. Well, that's really great. See, when I try, this is why when I do videos, I don't sacrifice the mod project. I will sacrifice the video quality first. I'm sorry. Why? Because usually some mishap like that will happen. Because I'm trying to get quality over the thing done. Where my whole point of this channel is to get it done and get it done properly, and to do your own modding and to do your own modded stock. I'm a little bit more of a heavy-duty Singapore modded stalker compared to an American modded stalker that will just throw 8 kilograms on an open breach or 14 like I used to do. But I'm not quite a Singapore mod stalker, because I'm a Singapore mod stalker is a little bit more trying to get most out of 14K, 12K to have a better rate of fire and be more tactical. With me, I'm a sniper. I'm going for more power, and I'm going for more accuracy. So, although highly influenced by Singapore mod stock, I don't know what kind of terminology I should use. I'm definitely not a Nick player. Like, I am from the Nick, I am influenced from the Nick, I have friends in the Nick that played, I have great influences from the Nick, like Baghead, Apollo 256, Ice 9, Cannonball, all those guys that were really like my mentors that I played in Skin. Roboman, oh, Roboman, that guy's a genius. If you had to put Johnny Neutron in physical form, he's Johnny Neutron. Okay, so here we go. We got 3 mags. We got three darts in the mag. Okay. You may wonder why this has a second notch here. I'll never tell. But at any rate, here it is. I'm going to put this in here with the Enduro on, and the reason is I want to build wax in the Enduro too. Okay. And what I have is an empty bottle. And I'll hold this down while I do this. An empty bottle of Hennessy VSOP. Yes, it was a good few nights, but more so than anything, you may notice it's all clouded up. Why? Because this is the take-up bottle for the pledge. So otherwise what's happening is you're just spraying a bunch of pledge around your room, and I even hate it when I paint a blaster like Big Blue and I put that Testor's enamel on it and it stinked up my room for like 4 months. Oh, I hate that. I'm very sensitive about my air. Maybe you hear that air cleaner back there. That's dual HEPA, 4.9 HEPA. That is so heavy duty it will take coronavirus out of the air. And it's also backed with carbon and 2 carbon 3M filters. Yeah, I take my air very seriously, so I don't like this shit in the air. So how do you do it? Take a bottle. Take the cork off. Yes, this is a high enough brand cognac where it was corked. You know, 50 bucks a bottle, it better be. Okay, so here we are. And I take it like so, and I straighten out the barrel, and you'll see right there, the overspray of the wax ends up in the bottle. Okay. Dart number 2. Okay. Go and do the same thing. And dart number 3. Alright. Ready? There you go. So now I've caught my darts, right? You can see the wax there, okay? So then I'm going to cork this back up, like so. And I'm sure the former South Coast Air Quality Management District, or EPA Title V, would love this. And I mean that seriously, because I'm not evaporating this in the open air anymore. I'm actually containing this in the bottle. So it doesn't spread it as an emission anymore. So it's smart stuff like this that would fight smog, but let's face it, in California, the best way to fight smog is not the cars, it's the fucking cows. Yeah, you drive up the 5, you hit that big patch of cows. Seriously, that one little farm is like 10% of our smog. I'm not fucking kidding. I'm not fucking kidding. Like 10% of our smog is that one fucking farm by the 5. It's that crazy. So what do? Do you put catalytic converters on the back of the ass ends of all cows? Well, probably no. Okay, so now, here's this. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this off, give you a little look at my spring structure. So this is the back end, right here, of number 62 Hillman. It's one of these. Only, I need so much spring that is actually not enough spring. 9.5 inches is not enough. I need another 3 inches. There's my spring guide right there, okay? So these are the little bits of looks you're going to get from the Mark 13. Very little. And there it is. So I open this up, I get this out, I go like this, I put this back here, so, and then I'm going to take my back, my back spring guide, I'm going to put it on my little chair / table here. I'm going to put this on here. So now it's really cool because I can actually store this prime back and with the breech open. Why would I want to do that? I don't know. Maybe so I can do this. What the shit? I don't know. Yes, I can do this. Are you watching? You watching? All right. So now I have the air cleaner pointed into the barrel, blowing air through the barrel. What does that do? Well, okay. I want you to take a good look inside this barrel. I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's a whole bunch of little pebbles of emulsification in there, of emulsified pledge. Now, you don't want this emulsified when you wipe it off. As a matter of fact, you don't want this wet at all when you wipe it off. You want it dry, so it leaves a dry wax of film, and then when you're layering it again, it puts another dry wax of film, and another, and another. Now you have 20 layers of film. So that's the Cartaya method of doing a barrel right there. And yes, it takes months, but since we don't have any games, or any games I care to go to, that is upping us back to 9,000 you know, serious critical in our hospital, with only 1.25 million cases. Yeah, we're not quite warring yet. I mean, we got that one group in LA, which makes that always, always has that games in Derps Park, which is a beautiful place to play, by the way. And they're a good group of people, but at the moment, you have your own side of COVID. I have mine. Mine is I'm waiting till this is done. I'm sorry. You have two sides of the political scale of COVID. And there are the anti-maskers, anti-vaxxers, the ones that thought it was no big deal at the moment, the ones that thought it was no big deal and got sick, the ones that keep going are well because they just for some reason beat the odds. I personally take this pandemic seriously, okay? So that's been my position, that's why I don't play, but I've been reluctant to do another mod because there hasn't been any games, and of course you guys know that I fine-tune when I play. You can sit in your room all day and work on mods. And then, the problem is this. The problem is that you'll always go out, even if you sit with your blaster for a year, you will find something wrong with it. No matter how much you do, whatever. As soon as you bring it out to the field, that is where the chickens come to roost, so to speak. And that's good, because then you know what to improve on, what to work on, what breaks, what doesn't. You can find your weak spots to your blaster, but that'll really test your blasters. Right now I don't have that. So, anyway, let me show you something else I'm working on at the moment. I just wanted to do this kind of an update video, just to show you I'm still alive, I'm still in the Nerf. I'm just kind of in my own little private reserve mode. Okay. So, I guess one more thing I gotta show you. Two more things. I gotta show you two more things. Okay? Now, I've been playing around with these. These are hyper blasters. Small format, doesn't have a hop, but I have a feeling I have a good idea for a hop without actually 3D printing something, which I always try to do since about 3D printing something. Why? It gets 110 degrees out there, and your blaster will melt like the Wicked Witch of the West in the trunk. You don't want that, do you? No, I don't want that. So, but this has been a very, very interesting blaster to me, because I want HVZ with these. I want an HVZ with these blasters. These are, of course, my 18 kilogram Deadpools. Okay, I want an HVC with these, and the first revision of the Mauser Fire. In the very last end of the video, on the final stand, you can see me just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, just blasting fucking zombies. Okay, I was one of the last 20 or so people that made it, out of 200 or something, toting pistols. Yes. So to me, dual draw pistols are really good. The problem is that This is a 5-shot pistol. It's handy, dandy, it's wielding, it's great. I like that. But it's 5 shots. Which, if you just open up the breech and load them and you get used to techniques of dual firing, dual wielding, dual loading, it's no big deal. But it would be nice to have 40 rounds, or 40 rounds plus per blaster. Alright. So, I've been playing around with these a bit. Playing around with my hypers. And I've done this to it. Doesn't look that much, right? Except I got a 14 kilogram long shot spring in there. Aha. What speeds am I getting? About a 140, 150. However, this is only a step up to when I can hop this up and I can put something a little more mean in there. Like these? Do those look familiar to you? Oh, that might be a couple of your 2mm gauge, 7/8 diameter springs that you cut from parent stock, squared the ends, that have been sitting around your room for the last few years. Oh, that you had extra because those are the same 7/8 diameter, 2mm stock springs that you threw into these. And I could get 160, 170 feet per second with air restrictors on these things. Yes! And I can cut out my little notch like that. You notice how the spin up needs to be less. So on these, the theory is this. I have an idea, I'm not going to tell you what it is yet, how to actually put a hop on this without actually putting some 3D printed piece or a piece of plastic or something. Something very clever and simple, but I'm not going to reveal what it is. Up to about 14 kilograms and to about 18 grams to do this. Maybe expand the barrel, I'm not sure. Okay, and by doing that, I got 2 dual wheel pistols. I mean, that can prime like this. Uh-oh, I think I just double loaded this thing. Yes, I did. Huh. Okay. And I can, you know, go go all crazy, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Dude, I hit the string with that. That's pretty cool. Yeah. So, at any rate, so how these work is you have a gate here. When you prime it back like that, it drops it into the barrel. So once it's back like this, it's in the barrel, it's not going to fall out. It also doesn't fall out this way, which is really nice. And you can just, yeah, I like that. I like that. So I've been playing with this in 140, 14 kilogram, 140 feet per second, just to see how the ballistics are. And it's better. Instead of shooting about 60 flat, it shoots about 80 or 90 flat. But that's nothing compared to these, an 18K, okay, that can shoot at about 100 flat. So imagine Rival coming at you at 100 flat. Crazy. Now, of course, Rival, you want to arch it just a little, and the reason is Rival's a round that kind of drifts through the air, kind of like a Mega Dart does, kind of drifts through the air. And when you do that, you get 120, 130. It's pretty crazy. Imagine you have 2 Rival pistols that hit like a truck that are flying at 130 feet, and you got 2 of them, and you can just really quickly, just like that. Oh yeah, crazy stuff, huh? Yeah. So at any rate, that's what I've been working on with the hypers, and coming up with holsters and everything else. The other thing is I may cut this part out and make it just a handle. Why? I don't like this handle. I really don't. I have no use for it. I have no anything for it, and it gets in the way of me spinning the blaster. Yes, you can spin it, but it's not as nice as the Kronos's. This big end doesn't really hurt. Hey, I got a 40-round magazine on there. I'm happy. It's a gravity-fed magazine, which means when you prime it, you got to point it down. But that's just habit. I can master that. That's cool. So let me show you the last thing I've been working on. Then I'll leave your poor guy ass alone. I swear. I promise. I mean, you are here by your own free will. You did hit my page, and you are continuing to watch. So there is some free will involved. That is in case that whole mind possession thing I've been working on is working. Just like the whole space-time continuum thing when I can go back in time and try to save Marty. I'm trying. But anyway, this is what I've been working on lately. Now, I know you're thinking, that is just a Hackney Dart. On Adventure Force Foe. Except for the fact that every one of these got feather filed in the back. Every one of these got weighed to be the exact same weight. And every single one of these is 38 millimeters. Compared to, of course, I have about 170 of those. I gotta make another batch of 170. There's my next batch waiting to get glued, where I'm gonna glue the tops of these, put these upside down, and glue them again. Okay. I do, of course, have 500 of these. These are 36 millimeter. Now, why did I decide to do a 38 millimeter version of these darts? Well, for one, there are people that have the opinion that all 38 millimeter darts are better for all blasters. Not true, okay? But it's good to have the 36s that are blackheads and the 38s that are reds. And the reason is because, let me show you. Let's say you take an Aeon Pro or a Nexus Pro, which I happen to be working on a pretty wicked Nexus Pro that can shoot 220 flat with 14K and arguably more like 12. Pretty crazy stuff, right? So I need darts at that range that will work with the breech system, will center in that enduro perfectly when it goes in and everything. The problem with these blasters, the Adventure Force blasters, is that this dart gate here is wide until it hits the barrel. They're about 13 and a half millimeters. The problem with this is that's 13 millimeter foam. So John Wilkes Booth, of course, fired a pistol that was .577 diameter on the inside, but the BB was .55 diameter. Well, you know that. So that means, of course, when it goes into the breech, air can go by it, or the dart can go in one way or the other way as so. Unless you're closer to the front, where you're closer to the brass, and you're cutting down a lot of that. Actually, you're cutting down all of it, because that front end fits snug enough that air doesn't go past it. So, if I try this with a 36 millimeter dart, if I can, my clumsy ass can get my finger in the breech and do that to it. If I'm too lazy to pick up a magazine at the moment. I mean, pretty good, right? Well, problem is, I heard a bunch of air go past that dart before it fired. So I heard a little bit of a crack sound. Okay. When you hear that, you know that you're getting air bleed through. Okay. So then I take this again. This time I throw my 38 millimeter dart in there. And put in mind, AF Pro darts are 38 millimeters. They are designed for that length. Well, that's the reason why. Because in these blasters, your breech is your dart gate's a lot longer. On a, let's say, a Alpha kit. At 36 millimeters, you're supposed to have about 3 millimeters of your dart of your head into the barrel. 3 to 5, depending on what dart you use. On PAC-Ds, it's 3. That was designed for a certain way. So the back end would have the least drag, the best feeding, but you would have the most air efficiency, and it would fly. Well, on an Aeon Pro and a Nexus Pro, they designed them to also be used for full length. So they wanted to make it so the full length would be partially in there. But when you go to Stefan, you have some air bleed through. But that's minimized with 38. Allow me to demonstrate. Much more solid sounding. I know maybe you didn't hear that. Much more solid sounding. I didn't hear the snap crack that you hear when you have air bleed through. And you can hear, like, do it with a blaster with like a really worn out dart, and you'll see what I'm talking about. It doesn't sound like it's grabbing the air. The 38 millimeters grab the air. Yes, it's a really nitpicky thing, but when you got an Aeon Pro you're working on that's running at 18.5 and shooting at about 270 feet per second, and you got an NP that's shooting over 300 feet per second that you're working on, and you want it, and you're not even done with it yet. They're both works in progress. This one needs a shotgun grip and everything else, and it needs a stock, and it needs a metal barrel on, metal shroud around it, everything else. These are things you have to consider if you want to beat the other guy. Always be one step ahead of the Joneses. Which is why I don't just buy worker stuff, I don't just buy other people's stuff. I work on my own stuff. And that also hit the string accurately both times. When I did it with the 36 millimeter, it didn't. Why? Because, again, this thing is John Wilkes Boothing until it hits this. And then when that happens, the dart has bias to one side and it's trying to even out. But at that point, you only have 9 inches of brass to even out. On a pistol especially, that is very critical. On a rifle, a caliber, and something like that, you can get away with it. But, because you have all this barrel length. On a pistol, you can't. And since I want to roll with this, I really think this is a neat blaster. I think this is really, really cool. Little blaster, and it's a lot like my Archer design, Coinky? Probably no. But that's why I like it. So anyway, I gotta get some Gatorade. I have a frog in my throat. And you've been hearing me bullshit for too long. So that's everything I'm up to as of right now. That's everything I'm working on. And I want to thank Nintendo for sending these darts. These are really cool. And I am going to make something better than the Batman Blaster. And I guess I should... Oh, okay, yeah. Why did I make this video to begin with? Because I am going to make a blaster that shoots these darts and uses a revision of that blaster. That's right. I'm going to make a Mark 13 in 40 caliber. That's right. And also, not just to shoot straw darts, but maybe also foam back darts. And maybe also work with Nintendo on those foam back darts. Because I'll probably send him some, since he's been generous and he's sent me 4 or 5 care packages already of these. So I'm going to also have him help me out with the project, and I'll help him out. And we'll do the community like we're supposed to do. Not like other people do and steal other people's designs and injection mold them, you know, like the Lynx and the Woozy and the Gecko. Shame, 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 guys. Find something else to produce. Make some knockoff, I don't know, Ferrari emblems or something. Or some knockoff, Beanie Babies. Or some knockoff condoms or something. Just stay the fuck out of our hobby. I mean, that's what you gotta do if you're one of these knockoff guys with a bunch of injection molded machines just sitting around. Don't bother us. What did we ever do to you? Really now? I should win an Oscar for this. But anyway, I'm done being an asshole and a smart ass, and I'm going to drink some Gatorade, and I just want to remind you, don't you go changing, or I'll find you. Yeah. Till next time, you stay classy, Nerf community. Peace.